We're going to pretend like we're ready.
Well, we're something, for sure.
We are something, and we are extremely tired, but we're making that extra effort because we enjoy being here with you guys so much for Tech Tuesday. We're going to get set up for Tech Tuesday. What I want you to see right now is some raw footage of my son Ryan driving the Z06 at the NCM Motorsports Park. First clip is going to be from the PDR footage, and the other one, you've seen some of the videos I do, like we did this past Sunday. When I mount the camera on top of the car, the passenger side, it's a great perspective, but I think it also gives you the perspective of the lines and the track finesse, but also the speed that you're carrying.
Yeah.
The PDR shows you the speed, but it doesn't really feel like you're going that fast. So check this out. We'll get ready for Tech Tuesday, and then we're going to finish up with some more great-looking cars, your beautiful rides. Thanks for joining us. Right, so when you guys were watching that, Chuck and I were talking, I was bragging, you know, my oldest son was a great baseball player, and I loved watching him play. I love playing the game, but I loved watching my son play baseball. Same thing with Ryan. I love watching him drive.
Sure.
I've been sitting here looking at his PDR footage, looking at the camera footage, some of the stuff you guys just saw, and it's really cool to see how fast and how natural this kid adapts to different tracks, different cars. He's driving the Z06.
Yeah.
It's a freaking race car, man.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that was pretty neat. That was impressive, and just makes me feel real proud. And yes, as I said at the end of Sunday's video, if you guys watched that, a little longer than I wanted it to be, but my gosh, we had so much to cover with you guys. Yes, I'm going to take one more swing at the Z. Yeah, you laugh. I am going to take one more swing. Well, it is a little bit to prove to you guys and to prove to myself that I have more ability. I did pretty decent, but I'm being very particular. Like when I went off, I was just teasing too. And when I went off that apex there, that looks like an area, like if you're ever driving somewhere, you know, here, park here to take a picture. No, that's not a spot to take a picture. Get your ass back on the track. What are you doing? I was in the wrong spot. But great people at the NCM Motorsports Park. Great experience with Michael and his parents. That was just neat. And we finally got it too, in case you missed the show on Sunday. Link down below, check that out. But you saw that. I've been teasing for a couple of years, I think. You could put anything on your custom badge, and he did it, baby. I love tacos.
It's raining tacos from out of the sky. Tacos.
My man. Yeah, way to go. A couple of things that we want to follow up on from last week. I had mentioned the email coming in from Bert, kind of getting beat up a little bit. And I wasn't mad at Bert. I was mad more about the situation. I don't want people to think that because I'm not getting to all of the questions and all of the texts that they need to get upset. We do the best we can to get to everybody. Bert's actually been a big supporter of the channel, and now we're actually getting into the wheelhouse where it's time to start focusing and sharing information so you don't get lost in the shuffle of the 2024. So we're extremely busy. Thanks for taking the time to do a Tech Tuesday. I am going down to the Bash event on Friday, specifically really just, I love seeing you guys, but I need to see this stuff in person. The new Seawolf Gray, the cacti color. I hope that they don't have them just inside the conference room. They have them outside so we can really get some good pictures and good opinions to share with you guys going forward as we get ready for the 24 ordering that starts sometime late summer. More details on that when we talk business stuff for you guys. Talking business as far as, again, follow up from last week, we talked about that wiring harness. If you wanted to add it to your Stingray C8 Coupe for the engine appearance package, which in my opinion, the lights should have been standard on that car. Right. And Dave watched and he says, you know what, Rick, I did that. And I put it in because it's a real booger to do. It's something that he doesn't do, just so you know. Don't say, hey, by the way, here's the wiring harness and I want you to do that for me, Chuck. Now, Chuck doesn't do that. This is going to be on your own regard, and it is a project. The one tip that Dave gave us, and I think you can agree to this too because of all the stuff you do on these cars, is if you're going to change out or add rather the wiring harness to a 2002 car, you need to order the wiring harness for a 2002 car. Don't order it for a 21. There's little nuances that change over the years, just like
for any of them. 2020, 21, 20. Order it for your car by the VIN.
Yeah, there's never a list of all the big changes, but you're underneath these cars and you see movement of the ECM and stuff like that came out of the center of the car. Now it's in the back on the driver's side of the car. You know, that's just it's never broadcast and published, so you have to be aware of that. So the wiring harness is tapped in there. And if you're brave enough to try that, good luck. We'll put the part numbers up on the screen again if we haven't already, in case you want to add the engine appearance light package. There is going to be some aftermarket stuff out there right now, and it looks like in 24 GM is going to offer a multicolored light package back there for the C8 Coupes.
Cool.
Yeah, and I think, is that, oh, and we do have one more. Okay, so we're still going backwards a little bit, but it's nice when we have these conversations and we like to extend them. Had a lot of stuff last week, and I'm sorry, it almost, Chuck answered the stuff about jack stands. He answered the question, but it felt like it was a little bit incomplete, and it was because of a number of things. So let's go a little bit more in detail. If you're the guy at home and you want to jack your car up, number one, we'll show you where the jacking pucks go. That's where it's great if you get them from ACS or Paragon, so you can see where to jack the car. But if you want to support it with a jack stand, let's go over to a car. Thanks for keeping it up in the air so we can show the folks.
I personally don't have the need to jack up a car and use jack stands because I have racks.
Correct.
So I looked this up, and according to General Motors, you have to take this piece out and this piece out. And then if you look through this, you can see this plate right here, or this bar.
Right.
You can support it from this corner or this corner. We got pictures Rick will show you.
Yes.
And then that's for the rear. On the front, they want you to take this piece out.
Okay. It's a closeout panel.
Yes, but you can't take this closeout panel off unless you take this one off and this one off, and then this one comes out. And if you look, you can see the two bars right here.
Yeah, they come up to a V, don't they?
Yes. This would be where your jack stand would go once you got this plastic trim piece out of your way.
Now, so the issue with that is the average guy trying to get a car in the air in your driveway or your garage, if you don't have a lift, to get this crap off underneath, especially those in the back, that's a pain in the ass, man.
Oh yeah, that's a lot of work.
Okay, so let me ask you something from a layman's term.
Okay.
And we were talking about this before we went on air tonight. I'm a guy that changes out my own tires for the little bit of low speed tracking and stuff that I have to do. If I jack up the car, so let's show the folks the jacking points as far as the pucks go. You've got those on the lift right now.
Right. Here and back here.
Way back here,
where
guys.
the pucks go.
Not at this hole.
Nope, this is the tie down for on the truck.
Yes. Okay, so I've got my car jacked up in the air. I'm going to change this tire. Can I, because the frame comes here, can I just put, as long as it's supported properly, can I put a jack stand here to hold the car up in the air just so it doesn't slip off the jack?
Sure.
You know, I mean, I would think so, yes?
Yes. Yes.
But if you're doing a big project, that's when you get into all this frame stuff that you really want to support.
Right. If you're going to have it up in the air for a while.
Okay.
Yeah. You want to lift it or support it by the points that GM says is to support it by.
Where you showed and where we showed in the graphics on tonight's show. Okay.
Yeah.
So hopefully that answers a little bit more questions again. As you can see, he's got the benefit of having a lift.
Right.
I don't think I've ever come back here and seen you had a car at a jack stand. No. Okay. All right. All right. So
try not to.
You guys do that, good luck. So tonight, thanks again for joining us, guys. Tonight's Tech Tuesday. I'm kind of living that old adage: you make the most important thing the most important thing. And if I look here, yeah, I don't see a Rapid Blue car in here, brother. Yeah.
No.
There we go with that laugh again.
Well, you know.
That uncomfortable laugh. That's because my car was supposed to be in here with a number of things that we've scheduled. But again, making the most important thing is our customers. We've got a beautiful anniversary Z06 behind us here that's going to get some stuff. We've got a ton of boxes over there for Poland, Kansas, what we call the Build-A-Bear project.
Sure.
So there's no way that I can have my car. Retail's got to come first. We've got, I have 10 more cars coming this week, plus a few more for the dealership. So you're going to be extremely busy. That's why I'm excited we had the time to at least do a Tech Tuesday in advance for the folks for Tuesday night. But my car is not going to be ready for one of the first track sessions at Pit Race, so we'll have to delay that just a little bit, but I am going to drive it down to the bash. So yeah, a lot of people ask, hey, when are you going to have those mirrors? When do you have this stuff? When do you show the, part 3 of adding your accessories? Remember I told you guys before? I told you guys this before. You go ahead and think that I get preferential treatment. He looks at the schedule. Rick Conti. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I got kicked today, man. Questions and answers for you guys. Hopefully, we got some C6 and a couple C7 questions in here today. And of course, we always have C8. That is the main topic of conversation. Thanks for joining us on Tech Tuesday. Chuck, if you would, get us started.
All right, this one comes from Jimmy. It says, always thank you so much for what you both do. I have a 2022 C8 HTC 2,400 miles. Air conditioner stopped working. I checked all the related fuses and relays, including cooling fans. All were good. I have an appointment at a nearby dealer next week. Have you seen any issues with the AC? No, I have not. I checked for bulletins. They don't have any bulletins out pertaining to AC yet. It says also the Chevy Service Center told me I had recall for software updates. Not sure what that entails. Depending on what updates you have, they got for the radio, for the transmission. There's quite a few updates. The package is too big. They can't do over-the-air, so you have to take it into the dealer and have them done. Yeah. But all the over-the-air programs that you can do, you should do them because it don't take that long. It's a direct from General Motors, so it's just a better deal.
You took the words right out of my mouth because a lot of times you guys will get that prompt up on your screen and you don't do it. I'll just let the guys do it when they go to the service department. There's a lot of extra steps and a longer period of time when he has to do that, downloading software, transferring it to the car, trying to communicate with Chevrolet. It's a whole different process. Do it on your car. It can be done sometimes in 15 minutes depending on the nature of the update, but follow the prompts that they tell you, and don't, when you turn the car off, do everything on the screen. Don't open your door until it says on the screen it's okay to leave the vehicle, and then let the update pursue.
Right.
Like Chuck said, though, there's some other things that are in recall that he has to do here. But these updates, sometimes we're seeing it all too often that you're not doing in your driveway. Do yourself a favor. Save time. That's the whole benefit of this over-the-air update, is to eliminate times coming in to see the dealership.
And a lot of that stuff, the over-the-air updates, we don't even get. So they won't even send it to us.
Right.
It's sent directly to you as a customer. You click on OK and it does it.
You got to start digging for all the information.
Yeah, we may not even be able to do it.
Yeah, and some, you know, it's funny. A guy mentioned this to me just recently at a show. I think it was in Bowling Green. They said, "Oh yeah, guy's getting this update," and he's like, "I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it." Not doing it is a problem, because all of a sudden other things won't start communicating properly on your car. There's an update for a reason. Make sure that you do it one way or another. Get it done.
Absolutely. This one comes from D. Henry. It says, "Hey Rick and Chuck, I really enjoy Tech Tuesday and listening and learning about Corvettes. I own a 2007 Coupe with 50,000 miles. My question is about the C6 HUD light bulb, heads-up display light bulb. Is there a way to replace the bulb without completely removing the dash?" No, there is not. And I don't even think you can replace the bulb once you get it out. Those are a sealed unit, so yeah, you probably just need a new heads-up display.
Seen a couple of those that you've done.
Yeah.
You get trades in, or customers that have cars. He's had the car for a while, as you see there.
Yep.
And yeah, you've got to take the dash out.
Absolutely.
It's not pretty. Yeah, don't watch. You don't want to know how the sausage is made. You just want want to eat it, right?
Yeah, exactly.
That was a bad analogy, but go ahead.
No, it's right. This one comes from Richard. It says, "I have a 2016 Z06 with carbon ceramic brakes. The brake warn message has been appearing lately. When it first appeared, I pulled the wheels and cleaned the calipers and checked wires to the pads. It has 22,000 miles, runs fine, the pads are not worn. Clearing the message with the select button works for a while. Any reason it would be doing this?" One of the sensors are bad. Like I said, there's no way to tell which sensor is bad. There just isn't.
We were talking about this last week.
Yeah. The only thing you can do is buy all 4 sensors. If you don't want to replace all of them, buy all 4 sensors and start replacing them one at a time. Replace one, go drive it, see if the message is gone. If it comes back on, do the next one. Me, when I get them, I just sell all 4 and we do all 4 and we're done.
Yeah, there's never a question, never a comeback, and just it's done.
You have to be really careful because those sensors are ceramic and they actually horseshoe and clip down in the metal brake pad itself. And if you're not really careful, you can break those sensors trying to put them in. So,
good tip.
Yeah, if you're going to try to do it yourself, you're more than welcome, but just be careful. You might break the sensors trying to put them in.
I got a quick one here from Martin. He says, "Long-time viewer, love you guys on the show. Thank you so much for the effort. You're welcome. Thanks for the response and the participation. Question is, I'll soon be acquiring a C8 Corvette. This is a good question. How can I be assured that my local dealership has a qualified guy like Chuck to work on my car? I'm afraid with a low allocation dealership, they're not going to have the proper personnel." We've talked about this many times. A very good question. It's good to talk about it again. My tip is don't call the dealership. Actually go there. That's where you're going to be building a relationship. And remember, service is service, sales is sales.
Yep.
I do 80% of my sales all over the country. But yes, you have to rely on the service entity to take care of you. So build that relationship. Go talk to a service advisor. You always want to have the same guy working on your car. You want to have the same guy writing up your order. He starts to understand you and your habits as a Corvette owner and just starts taking care of you. And you can tell by talking to them, hey, how many Corvettes have you worked on? Do you have a Corvette technician? You could tell, you guys, I read people real well. You could tell by looking in their eyes if they've got a Corvette tech. If he starts, but hey, have a great day. Get the heck out of there. Go find another dealership. Other guys are going to have a great conversation. Hey, you know, we don't sell a bunch, but we got a lot of people. They buy them from all over the country, and they come here to get service. We got a guy back there that's been with us 15 years, whatever the case may be. Now you know you're in good hands and you're being taken care of. So that's my advice. Go down there, talk to the dealership that you want to go to in person, build a relationship, but keep buying from us out of state.
All right, this one comes from Mark. It says, on my C5, a while back, I had to replace the driver's side window regulator. No matter what online process I follow, I cannot get the window tight above 65. I need to start from scratch, so I have questions. How deep does the glass go in the clamps? Is there a registration mark? What is the torque requirement for the clamp bolts? Is there a beginning position for the regulator height and tip-in position? Are there tricks or trade to get this right? Well, unfortunately, you've already done it. What I do with these cars is before I touch any of the bolts on the regulator is I mark everything. That way I try to put it back exactly where it was when I took it out. That way you don't need a whole lot of adjustment.
Yeah, I remember from my extensive days with C5 when I started in the business, as it was launched in '97. I started since '95 selling this car. And are you guys talking about, if I remember correctly, there's two bolts, or there's bolts that actually adjust the pressure positioning against the molding, because it's not an indexing like we have on C6, 7, and 8.
Right.
So it actually would just pressurize and lay against that molding. So number one, you want to make sure that your molding's not cracked and you have a good molding, so you're not getting air in that way. But also you had to adjust not just the up and down, you had to adjust the pressure.
The tip in.
The tip in, yeah. So there was a way to adjust that. A lot of times I've seen guys constantly working on that, and usually if they got that adjusted and bring it in just a little bit more, that would make all the difference in the world, applying that pressure.
Yeah, but I mean, if he didn't have any problem before he replaced the regulator,
that's a good
yes, just an adjustment problem. He also put in here, also just occurred to me, any of the guides might be wore. Well, like I said, if you didn't have this problem prior to replacing the window regulator, it's probably just out of adjustment. And it's just something you're going to have to play with, the best I can tell you.
Yeah. And he's got how many miles on it?
165K.
165. Now that's a man that's driving and enjoying his Corvette.
Absolutely.
Yeah, thanks for watching the show. I do appreciate that.
I know once they get out of adjustment, they can be a bear to get back in. So.
Right.
All right, this one comes from Lou. It says, I have a 2023 with about 1,800 miles. Just started hearing a transmission clunk from stop to slow start, and it only does it once in a while, or so I think it is that way. I start out because it just got faster. It doesn't do it. You two guys are a great team. Enjoy watching. Wonderful job. Put all your information. Sorry about the rude people you have to deal with. I mean, I've heard some clunking in these cars. I know you said you've heard it in yours every now and then. It's just slapping the gears taken up. I mean,
Does it have to do with a floating clutch in that, maybe, by chance? I'm not a tech. I don't know. I'm just thinking out loud. Sorry.
It's just everything, when you take off from a start, everything has to come together.
Right.
So, yeah, you can get clunks out of them every now and again, but at higher speeds, he's not getting it. I look for bulletins. They don't have any.
Here's one thing I just thought of, too. You know, thinking out loud again. That's what this is all about, having a conversation. Sometimes people refer to the clunk as when it's going from V8 to V4 mode. That could be, too, depending on, we don't have enough information in which he's driving.
Right. Oh, no, I think he said it.
Did he say?
Yeah, from stop to slow start.
Okay.
So he's not driving. It's just...
Okay, yeah, because when it flips over, and you hear that back there, and I seem to hear it more in my 23 than I did in my 21. And I was like, oh, that's the problem. I want to do this. I want to do this to bypass the V4 mode. Screw that. Just turn the radio up.
Right, yeah.
That's all. It does. It really, let the car do what it's supposed to do, how it was designed to do. I don't like farting around with any of that stuff. Just leave it be, and it's been fine. So I'm excited to drive the car each and every time I can get in there. All right, we all set?
That's all I got.
Nice and quick. It was great to have a conversation with you guys on the channel. Thank you so much for watching, listening, your participation, and your engagement. Going to be a busy week for us. We'll try to catch up and try to be here next Tuesday, but look forward to meeting as many people as I can, because I'll be there only Friday, Bowling Green, Kentucky, y'all, at the NCM Bash. I got to say that every time.
Oh, yeah.
I just love that. They're just so hospitable down there. Sure. I just love it. Just that twang, just that twang.
Absolutely.
Welcome to Kentucky. Yeah. All right. Anyway, I'm sorry, I'm an idiot. Looking forward to seeing you guys and sharing that on Sunday's show. And then the following Sunday, Coffee with Conti, as we talked about this past weekend. If you've got a custom badge and you haven't emailed it in yet, I know there's only one out there, and probably only will ever be one that says, I love tacos. But whatever you got on your badge, send that in so we can showcase that on our Coffee with Conti coming up in a couple of weeks. Before you go, show off some great looking cars now. These are what, Chuck?
Your beautiful rides.
See, he knows.
Yeah.
young, and I didn't understand that you were the one, and I can't wait to see you hindsight is fleeting, oh, and your heart's bleeding, and all you can see is red, till you discover it is within each other to forgive and make amends. If I had known then, or what I know now, I wouldn't have said what I said. I took the long road, thought I'd be better on my own. Sometimes what's right is wrong instead, 'cause I was too young, and I didn't understand that you were the one, and I can't wait to see you again. Oh, I can't wait, I can't wait, I can't wait, 'cause I was too young, and I didn't understand that you were the one, and I